All right. Hello, everybody. This is Ken, and I'm here with the rest of our ministers, not all of our ministers, but most of our ministers. And we just wanted to get the chance to say hello to you as the church and let you get to see us and kind of catch up on what we're doing, just because we're missing each other. And so I hope that you as the church will enjoy as we talk for just a few minutes. And so what I want to do first of all, and Greg, we'll start with you. That is just let the church know how you are doing right now, and what if anything is different for you right now, Greg.
Well, I'm doing fine. I'm doing a little bit more work at home than I have in the past. I'm doing a whole lot more video kind of stuff, but things are going well. My family's doing well. Everybody's taking care of themselves and staying home, and so. I think for me, we're doing okay.
All right. We're glad to hear it. Shane, give an update on you and your family.
My family, we're all healthy and we're all home. Obviously, my kids don't have school, and my wife just this week, they're starting to figure out how to do online teaching. She teaches math out at Holiday. And so we're trying to balance all those things. And it's good to be with family all day long, but it also is very tiring with two little ones. And I think they're, especially with all the rain we had, they were ready to get out of the house and to get some sunlight. And it's been nice the past couple of days, so we've been able to do that some, but just a little bit of cabin fever, but everyone's been doing good. Andy, you want me to go ahead and talk about my ministry as well?
We'll do that in a minute. Yeah, we'll do that in just a minute. Elmer, tell us how you and Linda are doing and what's different for y'all right now.
Well, we are doing fine, and I guess the main thing that's different is like anybody else, we're just not getting out as much now. There are some things that we've come to that stage in life where we enjoy staying in. So this has kind of played right along with that. Linda has been kind of catching up on her card writing ministry, and she is continuing that. She's been fixing her famous chicken noodle soup, and we've been taking it to some folks. And myself, I've been working on the income taxes, so this has given me plenty of time to get that done. But we are doing fine.
Very, very good. All right, Jeremy, you get to go last. Catch us up on you and your family. What's different for y'all right now?
A lot of things are different. Kids finally finished their spring break, and so the new reality is kind of setting in. Missing teachers, missing friends, things like that. We've cleaned out closets we forgot that we had, things like that. Seems like a lot of the kids, the main question is, what day is it? Because that seems to be a pretty popular one. And usually it's Jenny and I asking that question. So, but like you said, they're just missing relationships and things like that. But now that Shane was right, now that the sun's out, they've been out in the yard and doing chalk in the driveway and all kinds of stuff like that. So they're finding ways to cope. New creative toys that they forgot they had and all kinds of good stuff like that.
That's good. That's good. Well, since you're already talking, Jeremy, catch us up on what ministry looks like at M4C right now. What do you hear from your college students?
Well, ministry at M4C is not really happening. I mean, the building's shut down. Campus is fairly well shut down. Students are trickling back in after spring break to move their things out. College is encouraging as many as it can to move back home or to move away just to kind of protect the campus. And so I imagine, like many of you will say, a lot of our stuff is going online. We've been doing some online Bible studies. We'll have one again tonight. We're doing lots of texts and calls, which that's one of the benefits we'll get to later maybe, but we're connecting more than we usually would, text and online things and things like that. And so one of the things that we'll talk about is kind of this idea that Jenny and I feel a loss along with our students. I mean, there's different things that are going on. So talking about what have you lost and what have you gained has been helpful for us to kind of process some of that stuff. And so ministry is just looking a little bit different these days.
You're doing your meeting online, that kind of thing. Are you having students who are in other cities and their own homes connecting still with you?
Yeah, that was really the best thing that we could do is, I mean, it'd be nice to get together 2 or 3, but we have several that have already moved home. And so we had a leadership meeting last guess it was Monday, and we had somebody, Lillian and Seymour and a few other ones were able to jump on with us. And so that was nice to connect all those. We have some from Houston and Dallas. And so, yeah, it's brought them together in a unique way, but it's working.
Yeah. Well, good. Tell them all hi for us, because we do love our college students and miss them. So, Elmer, tell us a little bit about how your ministry is going right now.
Well, the things that I tend to continue looking at is, and I'm always amazed with the way 10th and Broad is able to come through these things. It'll be evident once the numbers start coming out. As far as we had a really strong weekly contribution this last Sunday, even though we didn't meet. Alice Joy was sharing some of that information, and those things are just really good with 10th and Broad, and that's what I always say. I'm always surprised, but then I'm not always surprised. I'm just proud that 10th and Broad is continuing to step up. And the one thing that I'm really finding is that folks are checking on folks.
Yes.
And just, it's not like they're being obsessive about it, but they're just interested and wanting to know if they can help. And I think that's just a neat deal. And I've been able to tie a couple of folks together on some things where some things needed to be done. They were small things, but they needed to be done nevertheless. And so those are good in trying to get those connections to keep those up and going.
Well, and that's great to hear. And we do want to encourage everybody, if you have any kind of need, please let it be known, because there's people who can and want to help.
Yep, that's right.
All right. Thanks, Elmer. Shane, let us know what's going on with youth ministry right now and what you're doing, because I know a little bit about that, but folks who don't have teenagers may not know what you're doing.
Well, we definitely miss getting to be together. I think that's one of the things that our youth group loves the most, is when we can be together, and just it's an encouragement just to have fun together and to be in each other's presence. And so we miss that. But like everyone else, we've moved online in some ways. And so I recorded a Wednesday night message that we had last week, and even played a game that through the pre-recording that they could watch. But I'm going to be doing that every Wednesday night. I'm going to be putting out a lesson that they can watch, and also on Sunday mornings, a short one. And then on Sunday nights at 7:30, we're going to start this Sunday. We're going to meet on Zoom as a youth group. And so y'all can be looking for a reminder, information about that, on how you can jump in and be a part of a way we can gather virtually and get to see each other's faces, kind of like this.
Excellent.
So, and other than that, just trying to find ways to still stay connected, whether it be through texting or through other ways. It's important that we stay connected and continue to encourage one another.
Absolutely. All right, Greg, do the same. Let us know what children's ministry is looking like right now, and all the things you're doing to keep kids connected, parents connected.
Well, right now we're still doing some digital stuff. We've been looking at trying to figure out the best way to do that. And so we've done a digital kid zone. That was our first one. We'll be working on another one. Right now it's just me and the puppets. And so that's been a little interesting, a little creative. We do a midweek video. I just finished filming it and launching it onto YouTube. And so it's really has forced us to get creative in how we use technology. And that's something that we've been in children's ministry been talking about for a decade, is how can we use technology? And this has really forced us to do that. And so there's people all over the children's ministry community sharing ideas and figuring out what works and what doesn't. And so it's been fun. It's been enjoyable. We're still not overly interactive with the little ones, but we're starting to see people post response videos and those kind of things. And we are still using texting and comments through Facebook and YouTube. So it's been fun trying some new ways. It's forced me to be creative. And so I'm looking for ways to connect other people and let them be creative and add to what we're doing.
So where would folks go to see some of these videos, Greg?
You can go
ask you the same question in a minute.
Yeah, you can go to the church's YouTube page. They're on there. The easiest way is to go to tnbkids.org. Everything will kind of send you there. There's a digital resource page that we've got color sheets, and we've got the videos. And then for our members, we have a closed Facebook page. So if you have kids or you're a teacher and you want to interact with our kids, just give me a call or a text or message. We have a closed Facebook page where we can put some more stuff that we can't put out for the general public, but we have more resources and those things there.
Okay. Shane, what about you? Where could folks go to see some of what you're doing?
You can find it at the same place if you subscribe to the 10th and Broad channel on YouTube. I'm going to be posting all of the youth videos on there. And so just go onto YouTube and you can watch me.
All right. Very good. Well, the thing I want to spend some time talking about now, and I'm going to try this. We'll all unmute and just see if we can interact a little bit. I don't know what that will be like, but we'll give it a shot. In John chapter 9, Jesus heals the man who had been born blind. And after the healing, folks spend their time arguing and trying to cast blame. And Jesus makes a really profound statement. And he said that this happened so that the glory of God could be revealed. And I want us to have that kind of lens as we look at what we're going through with the coronavirus. And so my question to you is, how have you seen the works of God? How have you seen the glory of God revealed in this season that we are experiencing right now? And what kind of blessings have you personally seen and experienced, or had someone share with you that you could share with us? So I just want us to think about that in a positive light, and let's give God some praise and glory right now. So one of you can get started.
I'll jump in and I'll
right.
just say it's amazing just the amount of video content pointing people to Jesus that has been put on the internet now.
Yeah.
And Greg's talked about, that's been a topic in children's ministry and youth ministry and all sorts of ministries of how can we use technology and social media to better connect with people and point people to Jesus. And now we've kind of been forced to do it if we've been slow to use that. And now I would think there's so much content because there's so many churches live streaming services each day being poured onto the internet. And I think God, I think he reaches people best through relationship, but I think he can use anything. And so I think even just people watching a sermon or watching some lesson on their computer or on their phone could end up causing something in them that makes them curious and makes them want to know more about Jesus. And so I think that's just kind of an amazing thing that God is using that and to kind of mobilize the church and reach out to maybe a field that we've been missing in some ways.
Great. That's a great example. What about some of the others of you? Have you seen glory of God and the works of God revealed in this?
Well, I can see how God is working in a lot of things. One, I think that people will realize the importance of people relationships.
Yeah.
You know, this last Sunday, we sat in our living rooms or around our kitchen table with a cup of coffee and we worshiped. I believe with all my heart that it was a true worship, but I really missed the people. I didn't like doing it just by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Linda was there and neither one of us really liked it. Now, what this is going to do to me is just going to drive that point home, the importance of people and the importance of why God and Jesus established his church body. There was a specific reason for that. And I really believe that one of the big reasons was for getting people together. You know, not that we have to come to a building to be a church. That's obviously not what it's all about. But we have to come together with people in order for those relationships to finally mean something. Digitally, we can do it superficially, but boy, until you get face to face right there with each other, then you can really feel what it's all about.
Yeah. So people, absolutely. Anybody else got something to share with this question?
You know, one thing I'll say that I've seen is in a way it's pulled families closer together. There are a lot of distractions that were there. And I know there are unhealthy families that struggle with things, but for the most part, you know, when you're there and you're looking for things to do, I think it's going to strengthen some bonds that have kind of gotten pushed to the side because we've always been so busy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think some positives that way will come.
Yeah, that's a great point.
The first thing that hit me, and this was probably a week ago and it's continued, it's amazing to me how quickly priorities were reset. The things that we valued, I'm thinking mostly occupations. I just love the fact that our nurses, our health professionals, our teachers, and also our elderly, they've all been elevated to a place that a lot of us feel like they should have always been, but people don't care that much about sports people anymore or Hollywood or things right now because those are nice, but they're not priorities anymore. So to me, it's amazing how God has used this globally to reset priorities in a way that maybe none of us have ever seen before.
Yeah.
To me, it's hard to really put into words. We keep using words like unprecedented, uncharted waters. And I guess we keep using them because it's true. It's just kind of a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
A blessing for me in our ministry was on Monday, I got to meet on Zoom like this with about 30 other campus ministers, something we've been talking about for a long time, but it's one of those things that's a good priority that just doesn't happen. But now we have a common purpose and a common goal and a little bit extra time. And so that was a real blessing to get to do some of those things that we've been dreaming about for a while, but God's opening up time. And so that's the question that I'm kind of facing is what am I going to do with this extra time God's given me? I don't want to waste it.
Yeah. I know for me, one of the blessings has been to where the elders and ministers are making phone calls every week. We want to stay connected with the church, and I'm having conversations with members that I never get to have because realistically, I don't know what it's like for y'all, but on a Sunday, I rarely get to have any kind of lengthy conversation with anybody. And so making these phone calls is something that I want to keep doing even after this is over because it's been great just to actually have a good in-depth conversation with some of my brothers and sisters and hear what's going on in their life and pray with each other. And so that's been a huge blessing that this season has forced on us, and that's staying connected like all of you have mentioned so far. Just as we close, any last words or last blessings that you want to share? Anything you want to say to the church right now?
I'd say, go ahead, Elmer.
I would say never assume anything. If you have an inkling, you have a thought about somebody, follow up on that thought and check with them. Don't think that you're being a busybody about things. Don't have that mindset. I believe that most of us really are concerned about other people, and I would encourage you to follow up on those inclinations that you get.
Good advice. Shane, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say we love you and we miss you. We look forward to the day we get to be together. And I've said this on my recorded lesson from this past Wednesday, but to all of our youth group and youth families, if you ever need to talk or need someone to pray for you, feel free to reach out. Give me a call.
Very good. Jeremy or Greg?
Yeah, I'll say something. I echo the same. I felt like Elmer. It's nice to worship in a small group, but I sure missed the singing and the just being together. And so I would just encourage us as a church to maybe sing some with our family. If you can't do that, find a way to serve, because I think that really helps kind of take our focus off of our own cabin fever. And there's lots of unique ways to serve, even from your house. So I would encourage us to do that.
Very good. Greg, looks like you get the last word.
Well, I'll just echo what Shane said. We miss seeing you, and we're praying for you and hope that you are healthy and enjoy your time with each other as best you can. And we look forward when we can be back together.
Very good. Well, let me just say to the church on behalf of all of us, and Larry and Alice Joy and Joanne and Jenny and Danny and Jean, there's so many of us. We truly are honored to serve you and minister to you and with you, and we love you very, very much. So God bless. Thanks, everybody.